is Travis. And here's Tony, and they are our propane drivers here at B&P Propane. And can you guys tell me and explain to me what propane is?
Propane is liquid petroleum gas, commonly used for home heat, any gas appliances in the house, mostly in rural communities or in a rural setting.
Okay, so like if I lived in town, I wouldn't use propane?
No.
Okay, all right, so this right here is how big of a tank, gentlemen?
1,000-gallon tank.
1,000-gallon tank, okay. And most people use 1,000-gallon tanks, or?
500 is the most common.
500 is the most common, okay. So there are, though, 100-gallon tanks, 250-gallon tanks, 320-gallon tanks, and 500-gallon tanks, and 1,000-gallon tanks, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, how much does this hold? 800-gallon, so 80% of its capacity.
Correct.
Okay, and why do we only fill it to 80%?
Because LP gas fluctuates with the outside temperature, so it's less in the wintertime, more in the summertime as the temperatures warm up. So you can only fill them to 80% to leave room for expansion.
All right, so underneath the lid, can you tell me what are the most important factors about all these fun gadgets here?
You want to do it or you want me to do it? The on and off knob.
Okay.
That's the most important, because if you have an incident where you hit it with the lawnmower or do landscaping and hit it in the ground, you need to shut this off.
Okay.
The percentage gauge tells you how many gallons or a percentage of gallons that's in the tank.
Okay.
That's
And we can go over that in another propane minute
yeah.
there.
And
Okay.
a lot of times they will look just like the faucet knob on the side of your house that the garden hose is hooked to.
Okay. And so to turn it on, it's righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. So to turn it off, it's right. To turn it on, it's left.
And usually on the knob, it'll have an arrow
Okay.
that tells you which way to go to turn it on and off.
Okay. So mainly I use this if I smell gas, or if I, like, let's say I am doing some landscape and I hit a line, hit the propane line. What happens after that?
If you have hit a line and you think there's damage to the line, then you immediately need to come turn off the service valve, which is the round knob we spoke about earlier. You need to turn it off and call your propane provider.
Okay, so if if I don't know where the line is, can I call DigSafe for that, or?
Oh, no, because they don't locate these. You'd have to call us, whoever your provider is, and we'll locate it for them. And that way they can work around it if they have to do landscaping or something.
Okay. Now, if I smell propane in my house, for one, how do I identify that it's propane?
It'll smell like rotten eggs.
Ooh.
It'll have a real pungent odor.
Okay. All right. And so if we need to do what when we do smell it?
Well, first thing you should do is not turn on any lights or shut any lights off. Try to get out of the house, open some windows, and then get out of the house and come out here and get this knob off. And
Okay.
then call us or 911. Probably
Call 911 if they can't get a hold of the
Yeah.
provider.
Yeah.
How can I identify propane? How much should I smell? Like if, so I have a gas burning cooking stove. Am I gonna get a hint of odor from that, or?
You could very well at first start on the newer cook stoves normally have igniters on them. When you turn the knob, you'll hear it clicking. That's when the gas solenoid valves let the gas through, and you could have a hint of propane smell before it lights.
Okay. All right, so if it's overwhelming, that's when I need to contact you, run out to my propane tank and turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Precisely.
All right, and that is our propane minute with B&P Propane.